Add some more fingerprints onto those sunglasses.
It's fine, don't worry about it.
Drake Riggs here for SCMP MMA, live on the scene at UFC 261 official weigh-in day and ceremonial weigh-in day. We got that back again. Joined by two special guests, Oscar Willis of the Mac Life, Jose Youngs of MMA Fighting.
It's great to be here, Drake.
I can't top that.
All right, you guys. So we just got done with the official weigh-ins, as I said. Everybody made weight today. So, I mean, not a lot to talk about in terms of drama, but anything stand out specifically? Who looked the best? Just initial thoughts and reactions.
Well, I went back and watched the weigh-ins before their first fight, and Jorge, he weighed in first that day as well, I think, but he needed a towel, and he was, very clearly like, oh, thank God, after he made the weight. Today, no problems at all. Came in, made some jokes afterwards, was flexing, looked nice, tight, well packaged, and I think he looks much more relaxed, so that's what I took away from today. Kamaru actually came in lighter than him as well. That was a good takeaway as well. But apparently Kamaru did an interview after the fact, and he looked really dehydrated. So maybe that extra half a pound was not what we wanted to see.
What did I see outside of the top fight? Man, Uriah Hall is kind of an angry individual. I mean, he was visibly shaking up there. People on our stream were like, oh, he's just locked in and focused. I'm like, no, he was mad at something, and probably the media. Because, as usual, he doesn't really like us. Fair play to him. It is what it is. He just would not look anyone in the eyes. He was shaking. And then he made weight. He weighed in 185 pounds, and he still was shaking his head. I'm like, why are you mad? I don't understand.
Just thinking about New York geography, it was just,
Right.
I'm like, I don't get it, but like, fair play to him. So outside of all the champions weighed in immediately.
That was very stressful, actually, from a behind the curtain aspect. When you're trying to individually cut the champions and then they all come in one after the other, it was actually very stressful. I was getting very angry at the UFC, and I wanted to say, hold her there now. I don't want her to weigh in yet. Also, I was interested as well that all of them, well, except for the 5 out of the 6 main eventers were all 0.5 underneath, which means the scales were off, and we need to get these people out here again and do this properly.
I know we went too quick. It was only an hour. But for me, I mean, if we're not going to look at the title fights, I thought, John Anik pointed out Tristan Connolly, but he did not look. Yeah, it was.
He was actually sitting next to me on the plane here. Not a big guy.
No, he's not.
Yeah, I mean, he beat Michelle Pereira at welterweight.
I nearly said something to him, but I just carried on living my life and just sat there on the plane with the headphones in.
All right, you guys. Of course, we can look at these title fights all day, but in terms of the rest of the card, I mean, what kind of stands out to you guys as maybe the fight that's going under the radar, could be potential fight of the night caliber in terms of a fight?
Well, I watched Between the Links on MMAfighting.com, and apparently, to Jed Meshew, Alex Oliveira and Randy Brown is apparently a deep cut. So that's some tomfoolery right there. So I'm just going to go off and say that's a fantastic fight. That should be one of the 3, not locks, but that's one of the 3 favorites for a fight of the night. Alex Oliveira can't be in a boring fight. And I like Randy Brown. I think he's an incredibly underrated welterweight. Just anytime he kind of sniffs the top 15, he gets stopped. Not only does he get stopped like a Corey Anderson, where he can do all of these great things inside the octagon, and all we remember is his body just flailing across the canvas.
He was.
He's wearing a Bellator shirt.
Yes, he was.
Which I saw on your Twitter. Full circle.
Full circle. So, yeah, that fight, and then I'm sure he's going to say some of the other middleweight fights on the main card, but Oliveira and Randy Brown should be a banger. I think someone's getting stopped because both of those individuals only lose violently.
He said I was going to bring up things on the main card because he assumes I don't know any of the prelim fights, which is true. Yeah. So I'm going to say I think Weidman, Uriah Hall, they're both at an interesting place in their career. I think they're both coming into the fights on victories, but it's safe to say they haven't looked their best for quite a while. So I think this is a bit of a crossroads fight for both of them. I like the history. I like the fact that despite Uriah's being weirdo about it, I like the New York kind of gentle joshing thing. So I actually think that fight, and even stylistically, I think if Chris sort of goes for the takedown and Uriah can stuff it, I think we have an interesting chess matchup. So for me, that's the one I'll look at outside of the 3 title fights.
Well, Oscar, I'll let you know that last time I asked you what your pick would be for the sleeper fight, you did get it right with Wonder Boy and Luque, so no one else picked that.
Did I say that?
You did say that one.
I probably said that because it was the only other fight I could remember.
Everybody on that card said, the Mach 1 Amirkhani fight.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think I'm looking at Anthony Smith and Jimmy Crute a little bit. Then, of course, I like the opener fight, strawweights, Young Na versus Ariane Carnelossi. Very under the radar, of course. But when it comes to the title fights, you guys, not going to ask for specific predictions, but which one do you think could end up being like the best fight of the three?
I think the easy answer is Zhang Weili and Rose Namajunas. Even if you just look at the betting lines, that's the closest fight. Zhang Weili has looked awesome. Her last fight was one of the greatest fights I've ever seen, but there's legit argument that she lost that fight to Joanna Jędrzejczyk. This man's boss right here is in that camp. So I want to see how she comes back off of a fight that was not only epic and was 100% standing. That fight only happened on the feet. Now she's fighting someone in the division that is one of, if not the best grapplers. I know Mackenzie Dern is there, but I think Rose, she can combine her striking into her grappling unlike anyone else I've seen at 150 pounds. So I want to see how Weili handles someone that is a high-level grappler, hits hard because she did knock out Joanna in New York, and she's coming off a fight she might have lost. So I want to see how she does. And beating Rose is no joke. Rose has only lost the best of the best in former title challengers and champions. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to that fight.
Yeah, for whatever reason, I just have a feeling that with the energy of the crowd and just the sort of situation we're going to be in tomorrow night, I think something crazy is going to happen. I don't quite want to go balls out and say that Jorge could get the win, but if Jessica landed a big cracking right hand early on, sort of just wobbled Shevchenko, the energy that would then build, I think, could give her momentum en route to, she probably needs a stoppage in that fight, but I would be, that's the one I don't know. They're all good fights, man. They're really good fights.
And stylistically, in that fight, Jessica Andrade is very underrated at catching kicks. Kicks to the body, she can catch and then counter with that right hook to the midsection. Very much interested to see if she can land that.
I also think that everyone's talking about Jessica's strength, and actually Valentina is obviously one of these women. She looks slight, but is clearly as strong as an ox. So I think we could also see a thing where Valentina just throws Jessica on the ground, and then it'd be like, oh no.
As she does. So, they all have very unique and kind of different elements to them. But I think, the easy answer, especially on paper, is definitely the strawweight title fight. But anything can happen, and that's why we love to see it. UFC 261, cannot wait for it, you guys. Do not miss it. Going down April 24th, tomorrow, Saturday night.